In this video, I want to have a look at algebraic fractions. So we're going to start off looking at adding and subtracting algebraic fractions, and we need to remember that to do that, our fractions have to have a common denominator. So our first example is m over 8 plus m over 3. So to make them have a common denominator, we need to find the lowest common multiple of 8 and 3, which will be 24. So we'd have to multiply 8 by 3 to get to 24, so we'll have to do the same thing to the numerator. And this fraction will have to multiply the top and the bottom both by 8 to get a denominator of 24. So that'll end up with this first fraction, we'll have 3m over 24. And with our second fraction, we'll have 8m over 24. And when we add those together, the 3m plus 8m will end up giving us 11m over 24. All right, our second example, we've got 7d over 10 minus 2d over 3. So again, we need them to have a common denominator. The lowest common multiple of 10 and 3 is 30. So we'll times that by 3, and we have to do the same thing to the top. Then in this fraction, we'll have to multiply everything by 10. So that will then become 21d over 30, minus 20d over 30. And then 21 minus 20 would give us 1d, so we'll just have d over 30. All right, our last example, we have 3p over 4 plus 5p over 6. So the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6 will be 12. So this first fraction we'd have to multiply numerator and denominator by 3. And the second fraction we'd have to times them both by 2. So that's going to give us 3p times 3 will give us 9p over 12. Plus, and 5p times 2 is 10p, so we'll have 10p over 12. Adding those both together, we'd end up with 19p over 12. So that's adding and subtracting. Now let's have a look at multiplying and dividing. So our first example of multiplying is we've got 4mn over 5p times p over 12m. So when we're doing this before we multiply numerators and denominators, we want to go through and simplify everything if we can. So anything on the top can be simplified with anything on the bottom. So this p up the top and the p down the bottom, they can cancel each other out. Same thing with the m's. So there's an m up here and an m down the bottom as well. Then if we have a look at the numbers, we've got a 4 in the numerator and a 12 in the denominator. We can divide them both by 4. So 4 divided by 4 would give us 1, and 12 divided by 4 would give us 3. So now that there's nothing left to simplify, we can actually go through and multiply. So up the top, we've just got a 1n left, so just n in the numerator. And down the bottom, we've got a 5 times 3, so we'll have 15. Right, lastly, we want to have a look at division. When we're dividing fractions, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So if our example was dg over 8 divided by dm over 6. So instead of dividing by this fraction, we're going to flip it upside down and we're going to multiply instead. So the first fraction stays exactly as it was, and then we're going to times by 6 over dm. Now, just like we did up here, before we go through and multiply, we want to simplify. So we can simplify, cancel out those d's, and the 6 and the 8, we can divide them both by 2. So that would come down to 3, and this one would come down to 4. So that'll give us, if we go through and multiply now, 3g on the top, and on the bottom we've got 4m. Make that look like a g. Alright, so those are a few examples of working with algebraic fractions.